Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Pharaoh of Physical Media. I've never done this before. This is a special Let's Get Physical Media supplemental, like a captain's log supplemental. But it's in addition to today, Sunday, January 21st's Let's Get Physical Media episode that was missing Dieter Bastian. Now, I didn't know this, but he sent me a video. He sent it to me on WhatsApp. And to be honest, you know, we Americans, WhatsApp is not part of our. It's sweeping the nation. I know, and I've had it for a long time. I just don't look at it all the time. He sent me a video for today's show on WhatsApp. I didn't know it was there, and then when people told me it was there during the show, I had to convert it so I could play it on this software, which I didn't do. So here's what I'm going to do. This is a supplemental, like a Captain's Log supplemental, but you got Dieter Bastian, and I'm going to read the letters that I forgot to look at for this show. The letters that were sent in by you, the viewers. So let's just jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite German, my favorite German, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. That's right, Mr. Dieter Bastian.
Hey Rob, and greetings imagination connoisseurs, Dieter here. Unfortunately, can't rock you like a hurricane this evening. Probably on my way to work, listening to Let's Get Physical Media in the background, and hearing Bobby complaining about all the companies that let us down as collectors. And I wanted to contribute a little bit from my end for the show. I got the Raid Redemption Steelbook 4K, which is nice, of course. But then I opened it up and had to discover the disc tray is broken. Well, if you're the master packer like Amazon is, that can happen. But normally we're used to the steelbook gets dented on the outside, not on the inside. But okay, what can you do? We'll have to go back, return to sender. So I will go to work. That's how it is. If you're a blue-collar worker, you know, a term Rob frequently uses, but never was part of that cult, you know. No, Rob. Reading scripts for Warner is not blue-collar work. Let's get that out of the way. So Rob, we'll fly a little bit solo. I will be back next week. Have a nice one.
So, there you go. There's Dieter. I wasn't able to play this during the show. I didn't realize that he'd sent me a video. To be honest, believe it or not, I had set up today's show last night so I could just come down and plug and play. So, I didn't look at the letters, and I didn't know that Dieter sent me a video. So, I apologize. Now, let's get to the letters people sent in today, which I also didn't see. And the first letter comes to us from Kenny Crayley Jr. Kenny Crayley Jr. says, my updated physical media collection. Hey, Rob and Dieter. Hope you guys are having a great start to 2024. Here is my updated physical media collection, and I do plan getting more TV shows, animated content, and movies on physical media in 2024. Keep up the super amazing work as always, Rob and Dieter. And here's to another year for Let's Get Physical Media. Sincerely, longtime watcher and listener, Kenny Crayley Jr. from Ohio. Well, Kenny sent me a few photos. He's been acquiring things clearly. Here's one, Smallville and Bugs Bunny. That's cool. I like that. And you can see all the stacks in the background. Books. I love it. Here's another. And now that Skywalker saga set, is that what's in the box with the Death Star on the cover? Or is that like a steel book? What is that? I don't know what that is, Kenny. I've got that box set, but mine has the Death Star. Is that what slides out when you get it out of there? I'm not sure, but that's cool. I got to go look and see if mine does that too. Here's boxes of soundtracks. I have these soundtracks. Look at that old school Star Wars, and then the Man of Steel, and then, of course, the Superman the movie. Score. Yes, I have those myself. So that's exciting. And then here's another box. Did you just get these in the mail, or what's up with that? Superman, and Supergirl. So, all right, getting more. It looks like you got to get more shelf space there, buddy. But thank you for sharing that. Very exciting. Thanks for writing in, Kenny. I appreciate that. And this one comes from Malachi. Malachi writes in and says, good day, Rob and Dieter. First off, Dieter, you get an award for saying my name correctly. Rob, don't worry about it with my name. Most people say it incorrectly. Well, Malachi, there is an actor named Malachi Throne, or there's Malachi from the original Children of the Corn, hence my confusion. But Malachi, there you go. What a great ending for Monarch and for all mankind. Oh, basically it said, you're happy that you read my letter, and frankly, I am too old to worry about pronouns. Well, Malachi, I appreciate that. What a great ending for both Monarch and for all mankind. It's been so long that I enjoyed sci-fi and fantasy on TV this much. Apple is the best when it comes to this type of entertainment. Rob, you've mentioned Ken Russell's The Devils so much. I just watched it on Criterion Channel. So if anyone is as curious to see it as much as I was, it's there. Warner Archive should not release it. I think Vinegar Syndrome would be a better label. My 2 questions of the day: how do you feel about Eureka releasing in America, and do you think there's a chance Superman Returns will be released on 4K this year? By the way, Rob, it was shot on film or digital, and it would greatly improve 4K in your opinion. Have a great day, and you guys, stay gold. Stay gold, Pony Boy. Good questions all. The thing is, The Devils is actually a very prestigious Warner Brothers movie, and there's a sequence called The Rape of Christ that is, a lot of the times it's excised. Now, I've heard the version on Criterion was cut, the one they were showing in the UK. I'm not sure if it was. Mark Kermode would know. But yeah, it's obviously, there are people at Warner Brothers, so I'm sure certain individuals, I mean, I think it's pretty tame in comparison. I understand why people are easily offended by it, but I think it's a really important film. And I think Warner Brothers themselves should release it and give it the kind of prestige release that The Exorcist had. Obviously, it's not going to have the same appeal. But The Devils was a movie that when Warner Home Video was new, I owned The Devils. You know, I owned that film. I had it. It was readily available. It was, I think, more puritanical instincts might have kicked in the 80s or something. You know, maybe Tipper Gore syndrome. I don't know what happened, but then it went out of circulation. And I've been told that in order to get it into circulation, the highest of the highest Warner lawyers have to approve it. It seems silly to me that it's not available. They should give it a prestige release and put it out. I mean, the movie was made in the 70s. It's like, what's the problem, guys? You know, is it more blasphemous than The Exorcist? I don't think so. Maybe it is. I don't know. It depends on your point of view, I guess. But Vinegar Syndrome, while I would love them to do it, I think that Warner Brothers should give it a proper release. It's a Warner Brothers movie. As for Superman Returns was the first film shot digitally on the Panavision Genesis cameras. We had Genesis cameras 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the film. And I think it was shot in 2K. I don't think it was shot in 4K. Because remember, this was back in 2005 when it was shot almost 20 years ago. Look, obviously the problems that Bryan Singer and Kevin Spacey faced, allegations that were either disproven or not accepted in a court of law. I would hope that those, or Bryan's never been convicted of anything. He basically just keeps getting accused of things by jilted lovers or people that his relationships didn't work out with. Nothing else is stuck because some of those things have been debunked and disproven long ago, like what happened on the App Pupil set. So I would love to see Superman Returns come out. I think now is the time. I have I have about 1,500 hours, not thousands, hundreds of hours of unseen documentary material I'd be happy to provide for that disc. It would be great to see. And I think Eureka releasing in America is great through MVD, but I hope that they retain Eureka's beautiful packaging and books and all that. I think that we deserve it, which would be amazing. So, yeah. So anyway, Malachi, thanks for writing in. I appreciate it. And write in again. Please do so. Now we have this letter coming in again from Kenny Crayley Jr. Kenny Crayley reviews the Superman 5 film collection. Hi, Rob and Dieter. I hope you guys are having a great start to 2024 for physical media, as I am. Here's my review of the Superman 5 film collection. Superman the movie is sadly the same 4K UHD transfer from 2018, but for some reason Warner Brothers Entertainment removed the great-sounding 70mm 6-track original audio with a so-so DTS HD Audio 2.0 track, which sounds very flat. I wish the first film got a new 4K UHD Blu-ray disc transfer, but it did not pass QC before the work on the Superman sequels were being done, and that new transfer is missing in action. I hate that. The transfers for the 3 Superman sequels all look great, but there are some AV issues. Superman 2 has some odd DNR issues with Christopher Reeve's face in the Fortress of Solitude, but not too bad. Both cuts of Superman 2 look better than the 2011 Blu-ray disc. That might be because of the way it was shot, to be honest. Superman 3 looks great, and the best transfer from the set as a more experienced colorist worked on Superman 3 and 4. All 4 films audio-wise sound great, though there are some minor issues with the Dolby Atmos tracks on Superman 2. Has a bit of wobble in the score, and in the opening scene recapping Superman the movie as he is saving the train, and the end battle where Zod says, "Wait." The biggest issue with Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, where the score is not the actual one in the Dolby Atmos track, it's the German score, not the one from the US release, sadly, and should have been recalled and fixed. This whole set to fix the issues with Superman 2 and 4 on the 4K UHD Blu-ray. Picture quality-wise, Superman 4 looks great, as long as it's not a VFX shot. Superman's costume in all 4 films on 4K UHD is more blue than the teal wash the Blu-rays had. The extras on the included Blu-ray are the same as the 2011 Blu-ray set. Oh, I should mention the steelbooks, which is what my set has, look amazing with the original poster artwork matching each film. Sadly, no Superman Returns, but we know the reasons why. I know. So I give this set an 8 out of 10 for presentation, but it could have been higher if the AV issues had not happened. Hopefully someday Superman the movie will get a new 4K UHD transfer. One can hope. Thanks, Rob and Dieter, and keep up the super amazing work. Sincerely, long watcher and listener, and Let's Get Physical Media collector, Kenneth Crayley Jr. from Ohio. Well, Kenny, it's always great to hear from you, and thanks for writing not 1, but 2 letters and sharing your collection. This one comes from Brian Knight. Brian P. Knight. Couldn't be a show without Brian P. Knight. The Bricklayer double feature with The Beekeeper. Robert, I was watching the AXS channel, and they're nothing but trailers for upcoming movies. I watched a trailer for a movie coming out in a couple of months titled The Bricklayer, starring Aaron Eckhart. Basically, a retired CIA agent who is now a bricklayer called back to stop someone who's blackmailing the CIA. Along with a rookie agent, he's off to Greece. Explosions, gunfights, close combat ensues, and his bag of bricklaying tools. I know, I've seen that trailer and I'll watch it. This movie, along with Beekeeper, seems to be the start of a new genre of action movie, Codenames of Retired Assassins. Looking forward to The Plumber, The Electrician, The HVAC, and The Trilogy, The Butcher, The Baker, and The Candlestick Maker. Finally, did you see William Shatner tweets showing off 2 Star Trek Captain's posters without Kirk? Yeah, I did. I think that the way William Shatner is being treated by Paramount... Look, I understand. I do understand that the promotion of Star Trek, they want to promote what's on TV. And they have a different actor playing Kirk on Strange New Worlds, who I think is miscast, even though I think he's a good actor. But to put Leonard Nimoy's Spock on a Star Trek promotional poster and not William Shatner, who's still with us. God bless Leonard Nimoy, but William Shatner's in his 90s. Who knows how long he'll be with us? And this character that basically is this indelible character he played on screen from 1966 to 1994, and then is promoted because he's fallen from favor with young people because of his politics. It's disgusting, to be honest. It's really, really sad. He's still with us, and to be disrespected that way is truly gross. So yeah, I saw that, and I think that story of our time, man. Certain people, remember, all of the DEI is not necessarily about equality, but it's also about punishing and revenge against people that you just don't like. You cannot trade one oppression for another. And if people don't like William Shatner, rather than take their revenge against him and try and erase him from history, why don't reluctantly admit he did a lot, and without William Shatner as Captain Kirk, there would be no Star Trek. So, pretty gross. Don't like it. Makes me angry. Nolan fan writes in, Inception 4K Blu-ray availability. Inception on 4K UHD Blu-ray is no longer duplicated or replicated in Northern Europe. The affected countries are Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden. The Scandinavian release is out of stock and marked as discontinued by all online stores. I've received an email response from the distributor which says, due to low demand, we've been unable to justify another production run, and we cannot answer when or if the title will be distributed on the format in the future. This might not be the first time this has happened to a title, nor will it be the last one, but it's the first time that it has happened to me up this close and personal. As a Nolan fan, I'm likewise frustrated and likewise shocked. I cannot imagine what Nolan himself would think. His most likely best film of his filmmaking career being out of stock and discontinued on the superior format he's promoting and is so passionate about. Now, I don't know who to blame the most in this situation. Is the duty on us consumers to continuously purchase the title, or is the distributor's responsibility to maintain availability? No matter the case, I firmly believe the distribution model needs to change. We cannot afford these region-specific releases. We need fewer releases but packed with more features. That is, a worldwide disc, but continental or regional covers. It is time for the French and the Germans to take a seat, away with secondary audio tracks and put English audio only, and that with the highest possible resolution. Add to that all possible subtitle languages present on Earth all on one disc. Warner Brothers is usually pretty good about that. Then just print regional specific covers, or one cover for all globally. Yes, really. I mean, come on. How can consumers possibly affect demand if the title is taken out of distribution? How do they think consumers will react other than having to turn to pirating for the best possible quality? Streaming is definitely not the answer to remedy any of this situation. Luckily, I managed to buy the UK release on Amazon, but to a higher price. You may come out arguing that the UK or US release will never run out of print, so no worries that your region-specific release is discontinued. Well, to that I say no. There's no appeal in buying imported releases for a higher price for 99% of consumers who steer the market. So regional releases are very important, but they can probably be done at a lower cost. What's deterring the distributor now is not printing a couple of more covers, but having to duplicate and replicate the disc as well, able to put the regional label on it, ship a complete product. Is there more at play here, Robin Dieter? Are regions forced to region-specific releases due to regional age rating approvals and regional catalog purposes? I want to believe we can do better. I am frustrated. Well, Nolan fan, I do not like to be the bringer of bad news. But for a company like Warner Brothers, they probably are releasing globally, worldwide, Inception. Like my film, for instance, Tango Shalom, is a low-budget indie movie, and we sell it territory by territory. Every country is a different territory. Sometimes countries are bundled together like Benelux. But in your case, here's the thing. Because you have the population of your countries is smaller, there's only a finite... They know what the market is for how many people are going to buy discs, even big discs like Inception. But even Inception is, 15 years old this year? It was 2009, maybe? So it's considered, an older catalog title now. And there's only so many people in your country that were going to buy it in the first place. And to do a print run, there has to be a limited amount of discs that they're going to press to make it worth their while. Say, let's call it 3,000. But are there 3,000 people in your country that's going to buy it? And this is just the economic realities we live in. And as we move along, you're going to see less and less physical media releases. And in terms of making them, it's just the reality of the business. And that's one of the problems. That's one of the things we rail against here. But it's unfortunately a reality that we're never going to get away from. So I know you might be a younger fan that recently got into physical media. And these are just, unfortunately, the way it's going to go. And that's why I always encouraged people to buy things when they first come out. There's less replication facilities than there's ever been. So it is a bummer. And trust me, I feel your pain. I bought the beautiful Nolan box set of all of his films through Dunkirk. Tenet was not in that box set, nor is Oppenheimer, but it's a great box set, and I love having them. So, and by the way, Inception looks terrific in 4K. I know it's probably not what you wanted to hear, but it's just the unfortunate reality of where we're at, which is, it is kind of a bummer. I'm not going to lie. So, it's a bummer. By the way, Irene Jobson on this supplemental, the lovely Irene Jobson, calls this Dieter's Revenge. I mean, contribution. And she's laughing. Irene's laughing at me. Thanks a lot, Irene. I appreciate it. But, I guess I deserve it. But thank you. I do appreciate the contribution to the cause. That's very nice of you. Yes, the tip link and the super chat link is still open. So if there's anything you want to talk about, throw anything my way, and we can discuss it if you want. I wasn't gonna. I didn't know if this supplemental, if anybody was even going to be watching, but according to analytics, there's 100 people here watching this supplementary chat. So thank you for that. Jason Rose just subscribed to the channel. Carnese Jackson just subscribed to the channel. So thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Let's see. I did have a letter, and my letter has somehow... No, here it is. I got it right here. This is a good one. This comes from Malachi again. Malachi writes in and says, here's a box set I want, and nobody else would want. Au contraire, Malachi. I just want to say that. Hi, Robin Dieter. I have 2 box sets that I want that nobody else may want. Here goes. A 4K box set of S.E. Hinton films based on books with extras. Tex, The Outsiders, Rumblefish, and That Was Then, This Is Now. My second box set with extras and directors cuts of 1941 in Pearl Harbor. Imagine that on 4K. Oh, well, maybe one day. Thanks for reading my letter. Well, Malachi, first of all, you're talking about box sets of companies, different companies. You're asking different companies to somehow get together and bundle their movies together, which that's a tough call. First of all, I'm an S.E. Hinton fan, and Rumblefish is one of my favorite teen films. Rumblefish, Risky Business, right up there. Real Genius, Some Kind of Wonderful. These are some of my favorite teen films of the 80s. Secret Admirer. I would love to see that. Now, I have a beautiful box set of The Outsiders that was put out by Studio Canal. The complete novel. Great box set. Looks beautiful. Full of all kinds of swag and all kinds of craziness. And Rumblefish has been released. It hasn't come out in 4K yet. Oh my God, I'd love to get Rumblefish in 4K with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. That is an amazing film. So give it to me. Give it to me. Pearl Harbor in 1941, that's Universal and what, Disney? I think Pearl Harbor's Disney, right? Because it was either Touchstone or something. So I don't think that would ever happen. But interesting, 1941 in Pearl Harbor, a comedy and a drama. Look, I mean, 1941, you can get the extended version of it. But I understand box sets like that would be definitely cool. But I don't think we're ever going to see those because you're looking again at different studios. I don't know who did That Was Then, This Is Now. Tex, I think, is Disney. Warner Brothers is Outsiders. Rumblefish is Universal. So you're spanning 3 studios. So that's a tough call. But, maybe all those... Actually, the S.E. Hinton movies, I don't know if this is the case, but they might have... Well, at least... I don't think they did. Coppola would retain the rights to Rumblefish and Outsiders. I think you could do maybe a box set there. Because Coppola went to Tulsa and shot those both. So that would be an interesting box set to do. Now, Coppola's obviously finishing Megalopolis, and he's working on the one from the Heart remake. So, yeah. But anyway, this little quick supplementary episode of Let's Get Physical Media. Hey, I will continue to... I don't know how this works. Did this become part of the original show? Because I never turned the stream off? Did I just come back to the stream? I don't know. I tried to set this up as a separate show. Maybe it is. Hopefully it is. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you once again for supporting this channel via Super Chats, tips, and memberships. I very much appreciate that. Lord Toth came back and so to moderate, so I appreciate that. Dean Mikitich jumped in here, so thank you, Dean. I appreciate you guys for being here. And so here you go. And thanks for writing letters in. If you want to send a letter in, you can send it to postgeeksingularity.com. And it's free. So there you go. And on that note, I'm going to say, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. And as always, have a better day. Right? Sure.